You realize that half the people over 55 have no retirement savings at all? That's right. So imagine what the people at 35 are like, right? And that's why I want to cover is how to use the new sources of income that are available in our country, for retirement. I mean, and this is whether you're 35 to help start putting aside money, or you're 55, or even if you're 75 and can't live on the money you got. See, what I see that's happening, it's no longer investing in stocks and, real estate and financial advisors and all that kind of stuff, because nobody has enough money to do that, And also there's new ways of making money, and there's ways of making money as cash, not investing. It's really providing services and products and doing things that provide immediate cash and doing it on the internet. See, what's neat about what's going on now and with the internet, it's not like old school stuff to get cash. I mean, everybody thinks you need to be, have a PhD to do something and make a lot of money, or have a lot of friends, or you have to have a formal education or a real expert and stuff like that. Well, the internet has changed all that. Now it doesn't matter who you are, how old you are, what your background is, what your credit rating is, what your education is, all that kind of stuff, is out the window for making money. And it's money now, making cash, making income. If you have something that generates you extra income every week, month, or whatever, or you could do, part-time when you're retired and make the stuff you want to do. And more importantly, it's a way to do it and have fun, because these are things that are fun, not drudgery. With bosses and, time clocks and all that kind of stuff. The new way of making money is really relying more on the whole person. And not being a wage slave or something. So it takes more in consideration what you are as an individual. So that's what I want to show you in this video ebook, are the things that are available now to make that kind of money on the side, or even full-time if you want to turn it into that, or once you retire, or before you retire, or create another career on the side. All these kinds of things to solve that problem of retirement money. Because actually, what I was also reading too is young people like 18 to 29-year-olds, they don't even believe that Social Security will be here when they retire. So that's sort of like a safety net for a lot of old people, and rightfully so. But who knows what's going to happen? And even now, Social Security is in such trouble. Something has to happen soon, and anything that happens is surely going to cut benefits. And right away now, most people are making less money than they have in the past. Wages are going down, jobs are tough, and things like this. And that's all the traditional stuff. See, the non-traditional stuff is growing. Things on the internet and things that are going on there, that's the growth. And that's where the opportunities are. So what we're going to cover here, here's the kind of things. Crowdfunding. These are places on the internet that give you money for your ideas. Set up your own internet store. How to do that for free. Or sharing what you know. You have an expertise, a skill. Don't have a PhD. You just know this stuff. How to make money at that. Or with your invention. You don't need invention companies and stuff like that. So we cover that. or how to get money working at home on government contracts. Right. So you're still at home. It's great. How to use the gig economy. This is something that's booming now. And there now be legislation really to make that even more secure than it is now. Then I'm also going to show you how to get free legal help, tax help, marketing help, any kind of management help you need because you're not with some organization to have these problems to do it. And I have a few other videos about Lesko's lessons in life, little things that I picked up about, what's peculiar about life, and the kinds of things that may sound stupid, but I think they're real. And some bonus videos that show you a database of all the important things that you could get in life. Now here, okay, first thing is crowdfunding. Okay, now crowdfunding, a lot of people use it for business. A lot of people use it for nonprofit organizations. A lot of people use it for getting extra money to do things, whether it's finance a course, finance travel, finance a new roof on the house, finance a friend that's sick and they don't have extra money to live on or whatever. It's an incredible tool. It's only been around 5 years and it's just booming. Now there's certain categories in crowdfunding that give out more money to individuals than the government does. I mean, that's amazing. So this is going to grow. And see, all crowdfunding money is free. You don't pay any of it back. You know, you may have heard Kickstarter, some of the bigger ones, Indiegogo, whatever, but there are 1,000 websites on this. And what's terrific about this, I mean, particularly if you want to do a venture of some kind, here's what's neat about crowdfunding. I've got a bunch of 11 things there. It's free. It costs you nothing to try. It's absolutely free. You don't have to, invest any money. It's just your time. Okay. Also, it has no income requirements. It doesn't matter if you're broke and hawk to your keister or if you're a millionaire. You're starting on the same ground floor. No credit check. Right. People go out and get $100,000, $300,000, or maybe just $5,000. No credit check. Doesn't matter. I don't know how this happens, but it does, and it's growing. It's incredible. You keep the money forever. It's not like a loan you have to pay back. No complicated forms. No business plans. No lawyers, accountants, and financial statements. All that kind of. No. You just have to have a good description of what you want to use the money for. And it's fast. In 30, 60 days, you got the money. A lot of times, applying for grants and things like that, man, it could take months and months before you even hear back from them. So that's the kinds of things. And see, what's neat about it too, there's no fat cat gatekeepers. See, this is money where the people who are on the internet give you the money. It's not a fat cat bureaucrat. It's not some venture capitalist deciding whether you get that money or not or something like that. And this is why women are more successful at this than men. That's right, women. You're better at crowdfunding than men because half the people that are giving money to people's projects on crowdfunding are women. See, if you're a woman and start a business and you go to a venture capitalist to go get money for your business, what's going to happen is 95% of the venture capitalists are men. So they give 90% of their money to who? Men. So you go online, the data show on crowdfunding, women outperform men up to 100% better. Every category, they make more money. They're more successful than men. And in high-tech categories either, you're some widget, gadget, wazoo, techie thing, they're making twice as much money as the average guy. So that's what I mean. See, there's no gatekeepers. It's people deciding who gets the money. And that's what's neat. And what's also great about this kind of thing, it eliminates a two-step process for your idea. You have an invention, you want to do something or whatever, business idea. See, if you go out and get money or get a loan or get venture capital, you're not sure if that idea works yet. You're just promising that person, I know this is going to work, and you have to convince them. They don't even know if it's going to work because they'll probably never be your customer. They're just giving you money. So you have to convince them it's going. But see, on crowdfunding, you're getting money from potential customers. These are people who give you money ahead of time before you make your product. You have a new sweater to make. You don't have to make the sweater. You just have to show them what the sweater may look like. They give you money for the sweater, and then 6 months later, you send them one. Wow! Would you do that? Go into Macy's and give them money and say, yeah, I'll come back in 6 months for my sweater? People do that on the internet. So that's what's great about that. So now you know for sure that your product is going to be successful before you make it. See, on this, you don't need the product. You don't need the product at all. You just need to talk about the product, what it's going to be. People give you money, then you go make it. See, before you had to make it, go out and sell it. And if it didn't work, you're stuck. You stuck. The venture capital people hate you. The people you borrowed money for hate you. Everybody hates you, and you feel terrible. Here, you don't have to do anything till you have the sales you need. That you have enough customers to make the first bunch of whatever the heck you're going to make. So that's what's neat. So that's why it's easier through crowdfunding to get your idea out and have it and know it's successful. And see, it's what's great about it. It's easy to fail. If you're wrong, you just try it again. It doesn't matter. There's 1,000 websites that do this. You go back to the same one or whatever. That's the only way you learn. And also, what I think is great about this is that it's the only place that you get more money than you asked for. So maybe you need $5,000 to do something, okay? Well, what happens many times, you put a $5,000 and more people, hey, I still want one, I still want one, I still want one. And all of a sudden you got $50,000. Well, the bank's ever going to do that? Venture capitalists ever going to? No, they want to give you less, not more. So that's what's so great about this. And here in this report, I have some videos of people who have done that, particularly, people who are not 22-year-old, high-tech geniuses, just average people. Like the first one here, who did a sprinkler system he designed on. And he was retired from something in the communications industry. And he and his buddy got this idea to get a sprinkler system. And they got raised $25,000 doing it. Here's a guy who's retired as an engineer, but he was an avid golfer. And he invented something called a drudder. And it was actually a slingshot and a putter. So you go around the golf course and do a slingshot. God, the guy ran $2,000-$3,000 to do this thing. A simple little idea. Here's another older fellow who got $12,000. He was a photographer, and what he wanted to do is take images of these beautiful things that he did with his photographer and make handbags on them. So they're beautiful looking handbags. And he needed like $12,000 to do that. He raised it, doing crowdfunding. Here's a guy who make plates. Man, who would have thought you could make over $800,000 from crowdfunding on plates? And what he puts is funny designs on plates. Man, that's what, to me, I have no idea what works. Neither does anybody else. And that's what's so neat about crowdfunding. The experts who believe that they know everything and they say that won't work, putting funny designs on plates never. Man, you bypass those suckers. You go right to the people, and look at $800,000. Well, here's a guy who was retired and camping. He was out camping, and there wasn't a good way to make fire. Make a fire. So he was a little gadget kind of guy, and he developed this thing, and now he raised $35,000 for this camping fire setup, to go camping. And he's got a whole new business now. He's got a whole new career involved with camping, what he loves to do. So now he doesn't care about retirement anymore, because in retirement, camping all the time and selling his product. And that's what's so neat about. Oh, here's another one. A mom who got $25,000. She had pets. She took care of pets and everything, and she's a home sewer and designed this thing to hold a little pet, like babies do here, and she did one for pets, and wow, she got $25,000, so a whole new career. She was an empty nest mom, she calls herself, and starting a whole new career on that. Well, here's a guy make $21,000. He would fool around down the basement all the time making stuff, and he loved making glasses out of old Coke bottles and stuff like that. So he developed this thing how to sand off the top real nicely. So now he decided, hey, this may be for sale. So he did that, got $21,000 to do that. So that's why those videos will show you how anybody could do this thing. And that's right. The people will tell themselves, don't trust me. Trust the people who did it and learn from them. Or here's another way that people are using crowdfunding, is going in business with their daughters or sons. That's right. So you have two different generations. And don't forget, the younger generation is closer to being a digital native. That means that they were alive all the time when there was computers. Us older farts, were born when the fax machines, or way before that, the radio, let's say. So here's one fellow, father and son team, got $28,000, for a little harness for a camera when you go around and take stuff. This one, a retiree and a recent college grad, got $16,000 for making wine better. That's right, a little kind of cork that aerates the wine. Great little idea. Or here, a father and son got together and made skateboards together and started selling them. This kid, teenager, whatever, loved skateboards, but they both were sort of handyman with wood and something. So they started making skateboards. Now they got $27,000 to do that. Or a father and son cabinet makers. And they went on the internet and got $75,000 to do that. Wow. So now they have the seed money of $75,000 to go in business together, boy, where else can you do that? See, I mean, the opportunities that are available now in our society, all because of the internet. Now, here I list the best, the top ones. I said there's about 1,000 crowdfunding sites. The bigger ones are Kickstarter.com, Indiegogo, GoFundMe are the bigger ones. And we also have another report that shows you most of these and how to choose the best one. But even if you don't use that, just go and see how other people do it. Watch those videos. You'll see how any dummy could do it. It's just a matter of doing it, and it doesn't matter if you fail. Now, here's another way to make money. It's open a store on the internet with no money and no skills. See, this is possible now, like never before in our lifetime. Man, when I grew up, retail was always something, oh yeah, open a little store and things like that. But man, you needed all this kind of stuff to go into retail business. You need hundreds of thousands of dollars now, with leases and equipment and products and all this kind of stuff. Now all you need is 20 cents. And that's where consumers are going. Consumers are going to little stores, like you could start for 20 cents and buying stuff, and they're not going to malls anymore. Look at these headlines now. Store closings are the hottest trend in retail. That's right. Malls are closing. Stores are closing. 11 retailers are closing. Walmart's closing. The biggest stores in the country, they're all closing their operations. It's not going to disappear overnight, but they're shrinking. That's a shrinking market. What's growing? Amazon and other people. Look at why would I go to the mall if I go on Amazon and by the late afternoon I got it delivered, maybe by a drone or a truck that have it here, and stuff that you can't see in the mall. See, that's what's doing this now. So that's why people are going there, because it's stuff you cannot get in the mall. You get individual things. Because the mall, these big stores, need to sell 1 million of something. Well, if you're quirky, you don't want something that everybody else has. People are seeing they could get almost handmade stuff for a cheaper price than they're buying that mass manufactured stuff in the mall. Because that little person like you making those materials or whatever it is that you want to sell, you don't need 1 million customers. You need a few hundred. That's it. See, and you put your information or your product on one of these websites that have customers already coming. See, it's not like you're trying to start up your own website and hope somebody comes, because who knows? It'd be like you opening a store in an alleyway somewhere where there's no people, right? So now for 20 cents, you could be in the biggest, most trafficked mall in the world. You could be on Amazon and take some money. You just need a picture of what the hell you're selling. You'd be on Etsy. Etsy is a place where they have tens of thousands of people selling little individual things that you never even knew that people wanted. But man, a couple hundred people want it, and that's a living for you. See, we're all becoming artisans again because people want that, want something different and not mass market. Now it's masses of markets, masses of different little markets, that we're all satisfying everybody, each other with. You as the maker and somebody else as the one who likes that and gives you money. And see, now that costs nothing to do. Now that costs nothing to try. And the websites, see what happens, these websites know how to bring people into the website. So if you're in there, it's like the shopping mall. Shopping mall knows how to bring people in the shopping mall. So if you get a store in the shopping mall, you have to give the shopping mall a part of all your sales, right? Because they're bringing people in. Plus, it costs $500,000 to build the store, whatever. Now, on the internet, it's the same thing, but it costs nothing to build the store. So when you get a sale, yes, you give a little percent to the people who brought you there. That's fine. But if you get no sales, you don't pay them anything. So that's what I mean. It's a wonderful place to learn on how to do this. And the major things are Etsy, ETSY.com, Amazon.com/handmade. This is where special, customized things. And eBay. People who make money on eBay, stores all over. Like here, I have 2 videos here. A retired teacher who was teaching 20, 30 years, started to retire. She always liked some kind of cosmetic stuff or whatever. So she decided to put this cosmetics she liked on Etsy, and a booming business. She retired. She's hiring her friends who are still in the school system. She's hiring them out of the school system to work for her because she's having so much fun. And she does it at home. It's great. Or this other guy, here's a guy who takes junk and he resells other people's junk that they left somewhere on eBay. Makes a huge business out of this thing. It's just funny. Watch those videos. See how people are doing. How there's no magic. So you don't have to know about accounting because the platform takes care of all that. You don't have to know how to get credit cards and everything. The platform has all that. You don't even have to know how to do a website, as the platform does all that. You just plug in your information and you got a store. And that's what's so neat about it. Also I got a list if you want your own website. Now see, even having your own website costs next to nothing. A lot of them are free trials, and then maybe you'll pay $10 a month later if it works or whatever like that. And here's a list of about 10 of the big ones: web.com, weebly.com, Wix, W-I-X, Volusion, V-O-L-U-S-I-O-N, BigCommerce, Stopify. These are places all set up. See, they've done all the hard work. You don't have to figure out all, you don't have to go to business school or any of that kind of, they figure it out. You just have to have a product, and that's all solved for you. See, and never before, I feel, in the history has it been so easy. So you're looking for something, before you had to go to, big companies to figure out how to get your product in there, and they only take so many. Now it's not. There's many millions of products to be sold. Not one product and a million copies. See? That's what's happening. So now there's more opportunities. That's where the growth is. The growth is not in retail. They're closing. The growth is here. Like just 6 months or a year ago, Amazon was not in this business. Now they are. So whatever. Okay. Here, how to make money sharing your skills and knowledge with no degree. That's what's neat about the internet. You don't need credentials. You just have to know how to do it. People don't care how you found out to do it. You just need to know how to do it. And you could make money selling that expertise somewhere, like Udemy. There are people. It's udemy.com. You could put up a course. I want to teach somebody how to, maybe self-defense course, or paint, chairs or something. Anything you think is, you like doing and think somebody else will. It doesn't matter how many people, you'll find out. Don't convince yourself that nobody knows, because nobody does know if nobody knows. And you put up the course there, and then there are people making up to $1 million a year on that course. This is huge. You don't get a degree or anything. It's just that people want to know stuff. And so now there's platforms for you to take the stuff and to make money out of selling that. Another one is Skillshare. Now, people aren't making millions, but the average earnings on that, and it's all silly little skills too, you never thought of. The average person earns $3,500 a year, and the top earners earn about $30,000 a year. So what the heck? I mean, a few $1,000, that's nice to have. So that's what I mean about other ways to make money. So if you don't have money of investment, you're worried, oh gosh, another $3,000 is important. And remember, once you're doing these kinds of things, and later on in the book I'll show you how, it's the best tax advantage in the world, because anything you do for your business is tax deductible. So you're using part of your home as a business. Well, that part is tax deductible. You're using your car for part of it. Well, that part is tax deductible. See, it makes you live cheaper. You're taking out a friend and hoping to sell him some stuff. That's tax deductible. So that's why, that's how the fat cats live. They live like that. There's no such thing as a private jet. They're all writing it off as a tax deductible expense. Otherwise, they wouldn't want to pay twice as much. And that's what it would have cost. It costs twice as much. They have to pay it after taxes, and that's silly. Okay. How about inventions? Okay, that's another thing that we all have this idea And we think we need $10,000, to take that idea and do something. Not with the internet. That's wrong. And you don't need expertise. You don't need lawyers. You don't need accountants. You don't need invention companies. Your idea. So investigate that. And I have two good places here. One is this company on the internet, the School of Invention. And they hook you up with all kinds. Great guy. I've known him for a few years now in the internet stuff. Real honest. He thinks you don't need patents. You other ways to protect your idea just for a year or two to see if there's any money on it. And other ways to bootstrap the whole thing without money. And that's his specialty, and he does that. Then also there's government offices that help you, that are better than any invention company because they don't charge, and they're not there to get money out of you. They're there to make sure that your invention gets the light of day, because if it does, and it does something, you're going to create economic development in that community that you live in, and that means creating jobs. And see, every government official knows that's where the new jobs are coming from. Small businesses, big companies lay off. So they're not really creating new jobs. It's the new jobs are created by small companies that's starting up. So that's why they're interested in helping you for free. And here's another thing about government that people don't realize is that you can make like 50 grand a year, working on your kitchen table for the government. This is in government contracts. People who are looking for businesses or want to sell their services or something like that, look at a government contract. The government buys more of anything than anybody else in the world. You're a lawyer. I even saw where they spent money on a freelance priest. You're a massage therapist. You're a writer. You're an editor or something like that. Now, people think to go to the government, I want to get grants or loans or something like that for my business. No, you don't. You want to get a contract, man. Look at this graph. The percentage, like last year, loans was $19 million in small business loans. Contracts, $447 billion. That's how much a contract. That's money. That's money you don't have to pay back. You get a loan from the government, you have to pay back. You get a contract from the government. No, you got work and you got money. Okay. Now, see what's neat about this is that there are offices that help you find out who in the government buys your service. So maybe you like doing websites. Maybe you like editing papers. Maybe you like whatever you like. I'm sure the government buys it. And you got to find out who it is. And like my sister, she frames pictures for government offices, and she does like $1 million out of a garage almost in the middle of nowhere in Virginia. Wow. That's, see, it's like going elephant hunting. When you bag one of these things, it takes a while to figure out the process, but you figure it out, and so what? You got years left, maybe 20, 30 years left. Man, if you're getting that kind of money every year because something you learn, and the government ain't going away. Believe me, I've been studying this for a long time. So here there's two videos. One that shows you how the government even has grants to give small entrepreneurs money to learn how to use the system. So you get a grant from the government to figure out how to get contracts, other money from them. They're giving you free money to figure out how to get more money from them. Why these things happen, I have no idea, but it's there. Okay, and then another one that shows you how you don't need experts to get these contracts. You don't need to be, a minority. You don't, those things kind of maybe help for certain areas, but it's not. There's too much there to have that be a determinant factor on anything you do. And if you want an SBA loan, I have here a video too for you. It shows you how to get the best SBA loan available, how to beat the system on that without using an accountant, a lawyer, or any consultant or whatever. It's all public information, and I show you where to get that. Okay, and that. Okay, now here's the pièce de résistance, or however they say it in France. The best part of what I'm talking about. It's really taking advantage of the gig economy. Now, young people may know about this more, but older people just maybe heard parts of it, not really sure how to get involved. And it's easy as heck. And what's neat about it is, with this kind of economy and jobs, there's no boss, no headaches, no cash. It doesn't cost you anything. And there's no age discrimination. Yeah, that's what's so neat about it. So that's why, and this is where our country's growing now. Now look at these graphs here that I have here. Okay, the two big businesses in the old economy, Hyatt and FedEx. Okay, now the value of their stock, how much that company is worth. FedEx is worth about $45 billion, and Hyatt is worth about $10 billion. Okay, now here's two businesses in the new gig economy. Only about 5 years they've been around. Hyatt, FedEx been around 50 years or whenever it was. Now, Airbnb, that's the people where you get hotel rooms anywhere in the world by using other people's rooms in their house or whatever. That's worth $25 billion. Look at that. It's 2.5 times what a Hyatt hotel is worth. So Airbnb, and all Airbnb is a platform. That's all. It's a website. They only have about 2,000 employees. Hyatt, has been around 30 years. They have 80,000 employees. But their Airbnb is worth over twice as much. This is where our economy's going. It's going to businesses that require no employees. So there go the jobs. Okay, Uber's the same way. Uber is the one that people use their own cars to give literally taxi rides to people. Now what's interesting, FedEx, delivers packages, okay? And FedEx is worth 45 billion. Uber's worth 50 billion. Okay, how many employees does Uber have? About 2,000. How many employees does FedEx have? 300,000. 300,000. They're worth about the same, 50 and 45 billion dollars. FedEx has 300,000. Uber has 2,000. Wow. And Uber's been around for 2 years or more. See, that's these companies about 5 years. These companies been around just a handful of years. And now they're bigger than these old established companies that used to create so many jobs. The new ones are creating no jobs. But these new companies are creating money opportunities. Okay? So like Uber and Airbnb have about 1 million people making money off of that website. Okay, so if you knew about that website and getting a job, you go to Uber, and just all you have to have is a cell phone, and a decent car, and you're there. And actually, there's companies now, if you don't have a decent car, they lease you one if you're going to drive for one of these because they know the business is so good, and it's easy to make money. Uber even has deals sometimes where they help you buy a car if you don't have one decent enough. So there's always ways around that, even if you don't have a decent car. But what's neat is that all the money people are making. And see, with these kind of jobs is, like I use Airbnb for an apartment we have in downtown Washington DC. Now we just make it available when we want to make it available, see? So if you drove for Uber, you would just do it when you want to drive. And then the customers would come up and they say they have a customer for you. You say, no, I'm a little busy. I'm talking to this girl right now. And I don't. Imagine doing that in the workforce. But you can do that in these gig economy jobs. You just work, or, that's really not much. I want $17 an hour, not 15, and you just don't take the job. You have more control and this gig economy. But more importantly, these are where the growth in jobs are. The old jobs are still going to be, but they're going to be shrinking. Because it's obvious to me, because these new jobs are beginning growing. They're so much easier. They're so much better. They're so much more available to live a more well-balanced life, particularly what younger people want. I think as old people are conditioned, we got to be miserable all day, and work in some company and sit in the freeway all day and waste 3 hours getting to work and back and being miserable. Somebody who doesn't like us. No, young people are using these gig economies because they just work when they want to, and they're putting their efforts in something on the side that is really, they have their soul in, their heart and soul in. That's what they really want to do in life. So that's why these new jobs in the gig economy, now we have a report that shows you about 47 things like this, 46 actually, but we're adding every day, where you could get these kind of jobs. But what's neat about it, you don't need credentials or degrees. See, that's the important thing. They're not hiring on these gig economies. It's just, can you do it or not, man? And it's not what kind of degree you have. No fancy resumes, no boss, so less stress. The stress we all have in the workforce, which I think ruins a lot of our personal health, is all that stuff from bosses who command stuff and things. So you don't want to do it, then just go down to the next person. It doesn't matter. No schedule. So you do it when you want. You have something better to do, you're flexible. You don't have to make up an excuse. My grandmother died, or the dog ate my homework, or whatever. You work when you want to work for the salary you want. And the website people get all the headaches about collecting money. They collect the money ahead of time. They do it on the credit card. They vet the people to make sure they're okay and all this kind of stuff, so you don't have to worry about anything. And so you're guaranteed you get paid. And it costs you nothing up front. You're not paying anything to do this. These other schemes on the internet, where you have to pay to get a job, and that's nonsense. Stay away from that. It's just not worth it. These cost you nothing. Just the money you get, you give them a little percentage. So all these jobs now that you could get just because you have a phone, Uber, Airbnb, dog vacay, people making $30,000 a year, just at home, because they're taking care of some other people's dogs for a few days. Relay rides, you're not using your car all the time. So apparently, if you have a car, you only use it like 90% of the time. So you can make money the rest of the time. People average about $300-400 a month doing that. Or a bike now. You can make a couple $100 a month, because when you're not using your bike, they're so popular. Upwork, you could be doing work from anywhere for any companies ever in the world, and because you know English. See, English is the language of commerce. Everybody in China wants to know English. Everybody in India wants to know English. Anybody in the Eastern Europe countries want to know English. Everybody does. You know it because you've been born with it, so you're better at this anymore. And so these websites that hire people from anywhere in the globe, you could be doing that at home, answering the phone at home for some company in, Germany who needs the phone answered, but because you speak English, you could do it here, and just do it the hours you want. That flexibility. You like doing websites the same way. Anything that's available. Taskrabbit is another one like that. Little jobs. Whether it's in your neighborhood or not, or the some big company wants you to go to check a store, that they're invested in, to make sure they have the right display in. So you make $20-30 doing that on the way to work, things like that. So all this is stuff to be aware of it, to take advantage of it. Handy, you want to fix stuff for people, or clean for Roost. You got empty rooms. You see all these storage places. You can now make money storing things for other people. You're a pack rat. You have to throw away some of your stuff and make money out of that stuff that you're doing it. So as I said, we have a video ebook on this subject. Also, remember about all these kinds of opportunities we're talking about, that means you're like an independent person. The headaches of being independent are now taken care of by the websites, that you work from, because they bring the traffic, they bring the customers. You don't have to worry about finding customers if you want to rent out your basement to somebody to store their stuff, because that website had it. You don't have to worry about being paid, because that website gets you the money before the person puts the stuff in. So if you're worried about the taxes on all this, I show you here how to get that for free. All that tax help. You don't have to hire an accountant or go to H&R Block and all that. All that stuff straight from the horse's mouth. I have a phone call here. I show you who to call, how to call, to find out how to write off your home as a business expense. Or any other kind of legal problem you have, or accounting problem you have, financial problem you have, management problem you have, marketing problem you have, public relations problem you have, technical problem you have. You could get that help for free. There's offices all over the world, the country now, that get grants from the government to give you that service for free. See, if you Google that stuff, you're going to get people who want money from you. So the websites in Google are people who want your money. These websites I show you are the people who give you money. So be careful about Google for help, because you're going to get people who just want your money. The websites I'll show you are people who give you money because they have no money to advertise and figure out what's going on in Google. So I show you how to find that help no matter where you are in life. And then I have a few videos on Lesko's lessons in life. Philosophy is important to me because that's what keeps you going through the day. More so than just finding the phone number that helped you. You have to get that far sometimes in life to realize that you even need that help. So that's why I have some of those videos. Then I have some bonus videos, 700 videos of people who've used the internet to make money. All ages, from 7 years old to 70. 7 to 70, getting money on the internet. So if you're not doing it, man, this is something that's growing. Sure, everybody's not doing it. Doesn't seem, when it gets popular, it's probably going to be too late. So that's why it's important to know about these things now. No matter what age you are, you're making extra money for retirement, you're making money while in retirement, or you're just creating an asset to leave to people that after retirement. Or here we have a database too on what's good and bad about all the banks. You put in a bank's name and where they are, and it'll tell you how they screw up, so you know ahead of time. Also, find these local experts. We have a database for there, or we have a database also on how much money your neighbor is getting from the government. That's right, for their business, and that's available. So I mean, this is all real stuff, and it's important, I think, because this is new. And there'll be people, sure, the people on the forefront already know about it, that 5% or whatever, it's probably 2%, are very hip to all this. But then we have the majority of people that really aren't. And it's difficult. Learning something new is very difficult. I mean, I think the only people who like change are, babies with dirty diapers and busy cashiers. I heard that once, I think. And the rest of us go screaming and yelling and screaming. But, greed should take over. This is an opportunity. The old things that we use for income in America are shrinking. So it's becoming less than an opportunity. You get in the new things that are growing, the opportunities are there. It's like getting in on the beginning of the wave where it's fun and keeps you going, or you are at the end of the wave where it's now going back away from the beach. And that's what's happening to the old economy. So get on the new wave and learn what's going on so that you can take advantage of it and be on the new stuff, not the old stuff.